This is Passion with Dr. Laurie Betito on Montreal's news talk leader, CJAD 800.
On Dating Dilemmas tonight, age gap relationships, as he does every month. Frank Kermit of franktalks.com joins me. He's got a whole series of books and other materials on dating you can get your hands on by going to franktalks.com. If you have comments about large age gaps, 20 years plus, love to hear from you. 514-790-0991. Mohammed joins us on Passion. Hi, Mohammed.
Hi, Dr. Laurie.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I just want you and your colleague to help me understand, because one of your callers said she's 21 and she's going out with somebody 52.
Mm-hmm.
I just try to understand why she should do this, because she knows that she's young. If she get married with somebody a couple of years older, she's going to build up a family. And right now she's going out with somebody that she can have no hope of building a family because the guy is 30 years older. Then she's going to have a life that probably 40 years, 30 plus 10. Usually the men, they die earlier, 10 years, so she's going to live alone. So I'm just wondering, my theory, of course, I'm not a doctor or anything, psychiatrist, but I think these girls who do this, they lack self-confidence. They are not sure of themselves. They are worried that they're going to live a life of loneliness. So that's why somebody even that old comes forward, they accept it. So this is what I want to analyze and understand.
Interesting.
And I think, you are at the position, you are the expert. I think you should advise the girls, advise the young girls, that this is not a life that they should wish and they should go after.
But you know what, Mohammed? They already know all this. All of those, all of these things that we talked about, that she knew all of these things. She knows the difficulties with family would come up. Look, they even went to court and had, assaults and what have you. She knows about the issue of children. She knows he's going to die younger. Me coming and saying to her, have you really thought about all this? Because it doesn't sound like it's a match made in heaven,
Right.
She's going to say, well, I'm happy and this is what I want now. And that's what she's been telling her parents.
What is the problem here? What is the problem? Why she should do this? This is what I'm trying to understand.
She doesn't see the problem, though.
Yeah.
Right? She's not interested in having kids right now. She's going with how she feels now. I wonder about him, though.
Right.
I little wonder about him dating somebody who's much younger than his own children.
Right, that's it.
know?
Anyhow, so thank you very much. It's a fantastic program.
Thank you so much, Mohammed. I appreciate your 2 cents in this, certainly. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
514-790-0991.
Let's look at this last caller. He automatically assumed that there must be a problem with somebody else's relationship. And that is part of the stigma that people face when they get involved in age.
Well, they're trying to understand it, right? It's like, okay, what motivates somebody to do that?
What motivates a person who's really young to date somebody who's much older is exactly the same thing that motivates two people in close age proximity to date, because that relationship structure addresses that person's emotional needs.
So she has that need somehow to...
She has a combination of emotional needs that is satisfied by being in the relationship she's in with that older man. The same way that a younger man who's dating an older woman, those people have emotional needs that are addressed by them being together. That's what it comes down to.
Like what? What kinds of emotional needs are we talking about?
Okay, younger person, let's say it's the girl. She may have cater to the little girl in her, which is a very important emotional need. And this older gentleman maybe addresses that particular emotional need in her in ways that a younger man just hasn't done in her experience. Mm-hmm. You could deal with younger man, older woman. He has an emotional need of penis identity, where he is going to be penis identity.
Okay.
It's how a man interprets his role as a man, his self-identity as a man. And if he's with a woman that makes him feel respected for the way he feels and identifies himself as a man, he might get that from an older woman much better than he can with a woman in his age group within his experience.
And what about the guy that goes after the much, much younger woman?
He might have an emotional need, let's say, of quiet time, and an older woman is going to always want to be clingy and needy, but a younger woman who's getting so much sexual attention likes her own independence too, so she gives him a lot of space to breathe, and that's what he likes.
I think his need is more to feel like he still got it. No?
Some men will do that. You got to remember, emotional needs, there are dysfunctional emotional needs that bring people together as well. But there's something very, very important here. A person who has a dysfunctional emotional need can only be in a relationship with someone else who has a dysfunctional emotional need.
Okay.
Someone with a fear of intimacy can only be with somebody with a fear of intimacy. The minute one of them heals, that relationship is in trouble.
Changes, right. And I guess that would happen somewhere along those lines too.
So it's not just the age, but the emotional needs behind the issues, and age at that point is just a symptom.
Right. I worry too with those huge age gaps. When I'm thinking of it was Melanie, I think, who, when she may be left, widowed at the age of 30 or 40 years old. But mind you, her response would be, well, I could be hit by a bus too. She's right. I mean, it could very well happen too. But statistically,
that's one of the. What would you say to somebody that wants to date someone who has a terminal illness?
Yeah.
And now, would you tell them, well, you're in the same age group, but
you're right.
Your partner here has cancer or is in danger of remission, and well, you shouldn't date that person because that person might die. You might be left alone.
Right. You don't do it for that. You don't think necessarily about that. Thank you, Frank. We'll catch up with you again next month on our next Dating Dilemmas. Thank you, as always, for joining us tonight. Thank you also to Mike Babbins in Master Control, to all of our callers tonight. Very interesting discussion, in fact. Loved it. If you need to reach me, passion@cjad.com. You can follow me on Twitter, Dr. Laurie Sex Talk. You can also join our Facebook group, Passion@CJAD, or just look me up on Facebook. News is coming up next, then stay tuned for your comedy show with Joey Elias. Have a great rest of the evening, and don't forget, life is short, so take the time to smell the flowers and indulge your passions.
Frank Talks is sponsored in part by the program Dating Younger Women, a guide for older men to the emotional needs of loving younger women. Frank brings good news to the older seducer. To women, they possess higher value. Frank's lecture reviews the stigmas associated with older men dating younger women and their solutions. Key emotional needs for both women and men in the age difference. Methods of approaching younger women. And several answers to questions posed by older members of the audience. He also very much covered marriage between an older man and a younger woman. When dealing with a little girl inside, a man must be able to distinguish those women who wish to compensate losses in a father figure from those who are seeking and capable of an authentic relationship. Frank adds advice on where you can meet younger women, as well as dealing with the competition. Life gets better. All in all, a confidence-refreshing lecture for men concerned about their erotic viability over the hill. Dating Younger Women, a guide for older men to the emotional needs of loving younger women. Buy this program now at franktalks.com.
Frank Talks is sponsored in part by Everything Out of Her Mouth is a Test, a man's guide to the emotional needs of women. What would your life be like if you knew exactly what to say and do with women? This book is for the guy that simply wants to learn how to handle women's tests by addressing her emotional needs. By this, you create the type of attraction that will make her see you as the one she was destined to be with. This book will teach you how to get the woman you want and how to keep her. Everything Out of Her Mouth is a Test is the Rosetta Stone for men to understand exactly what a woman means when she speaks and how to respond. Is that worth changing your life forever? Buy this book at franktalks.com now.